Good morning. Hi, it's Dennis Karstens again. It's kind of a sad thing today because it finally happened. You know, the Democrats and their media whores and allies and the lunatic left have been screaming, braying at the moon for years about Donald Trump being this existential threat to the country. He's no threat to the country, he's a threat to them and the power in Washington, the entrenched, lifetime, incestuous, inbred bunch that runs everything from Washington. But they've demonized him so bad. I'm surprised that the assassination attempt took this long because they've told everybody this guy's got to go. That we have to do everything we can to stop him. So, of course, some lunatic finally gets a hold of a rifle and shoots up the place, kills a person, and they're all looking around going, who, what, how did this happen? How could this have happened here in America? Except for the media, CNN called it an incident. The New York Times said Donald Trump was hurried off of the podium because of something or other. I mean, they didn't even say what it was. This is what these people are like. So here we go, and I gotta tell you this too. Here's a few days ago, the idiot in chief said, "My main job is to defeat Donald Trump. It's time to put a bullseye on him." Listen, you fool. Your main job is to do the best job you can for the American people. I know you don't understand that, which is just number one on the long and continuously growing list of things you don't understand. But look what you've done. And you people are totally 100% responsible for this, and it will probably happen again. Hope you're happy now. Okay? I mean, come on. We finally had an assassination attempt, and you're all acting like you're shocked. Nancy Pelosi said she was praying for him. Well, despite that, he survived anyway. I'm just a little worked up here today because, this is just ridiculous. They tried to kill him, for God's sake. All right, so I'm going to switch now. That's enough for today. I had to put my 2 cents out there. I'm sure you're all feeling the same way about how ridiculous these people truly are and how frightened they are. This is the problem. They're scared to death of this guy because they know he screwed up the first time. He admits it. He hired swamp rats from inside the Beltway to help him get rid of the other swamp rats. Well, of course, they're not going to do that. So now he's going to hire people from outside Washington and fire a bunch of these disgusting sewage dwellers. And they're going to lose their status and their power and their privilege. Good. We got to give this country back to the people of America and not celebrities like George Clooney. I hear George Clooney's a decent guy, but here's the problem with these people. George Clooney has so much money that Joe Biden's screw ups doesn't affect him in the least bit. Does George Clooney and his celebrity pals sit down and have to budget? Do I buy groceries this week? The kids need clothes. I can't do both. Well, that doesn't bother them. Their only thought is, gee, I wonder if I can buy a $2 or $3 million car and donate a bunch of money to my buddy Joe. All right, enough. Let me move on here a little bit. I've got something to read. This is pretty funny. From the Babylon Bee, again, for those of you who don't know what the Babylon Bee is, it's a satire website that makes fun of politicians. It's mostly conservative, but they take shots at Trump and other people too. They're bipartisan that way, which is fine with me. When Republicans screw up, they deserve to be slapped around also. Anyway, I want to show this to you. This is the headline. It reads, White House denies a taxidermist visited to stuff and preserve the president. Great stuff. Here it is. Washington, D.C., as the media continue to scrutinize visitor logs from Joe Biden's presidency, the White House issued a denial today that a taxidermist visited to stuff and preserve the president. Investigative journalists believed they had discovered a recent entry in the White House visitor logs that indicated a leading taxidermist spent time with President Biden, forcing administration officials to publicly debunk claims that Biden had been stuffed. He has always looked this lifelike, said gay and black White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, who is both black and gay. Yes, the president stands very still, rarely blinks his eyes, to be carried around, rarely blinks his eyes, fails to make a sound for hours at a time, and sometimes has to be carried from one room to the next. But he is very much alive and has not been artificially preserved just to hold on to any remaining chance that he could be reelected in November. That would be ridiculous. Moving on. Though the White House's official statement was adamant that the president was still alive, one administration insider did not deny the report. He does seem pretty stiff for a living human, the source said. They wheel him around here on a dolly sometimes. There was a lot of sawdust in the West Wing yesterday, and I heard Jill complimenting someone on how real Joe looked. Who knows? At publishing time, the White House also denied reports that Jill Biden had requested to have Joe mounted in a lifelike position on the wall of the Lincoln bedroom. So all those rumors about Joe Biden being stuffed, they're denying it. I, for one, am a little skeptical because if you look at him, well, he could very easily be mounted on a wall next to a deer head. He'd look quite natural. Again, think with your head, not with your feelings. Have a great day. Bye now.